Hi, welcome back to Compton Shenanigans, and today's video is going to be on this TV stand. It's been sitting in the corner. It hasn't really been doing anything for anybody except for collecting stuff where we don't know where to put stuff. So what we're going to do today is we're going to tear this thing apart. We're going to chop these two things down, and we're going to make two end stands out of this TV stand. Kind of hope it works. Should be pretty easy to do. All we got to do is get the offset, match the angles, stain it, and put it back together. Yeah, we're going to loosen drawers. That we are going to do. But we're going to gain a little cabinet and a shelf at the end of the couch, and love seat, or wherever we decide to put these things. So it's going to be a pretty good video, and follow along, like, subscribe, share if you haven't already, and let's get started. Oh. Make it work! Alright, so this is our top. I'll go bring in the bottom. Our goal is to cut this in half, kinda, and we'll use the leftover cuts to raise these things up to a more usable level. There doesn't appear to be any hardware we're going to make the cut. Just hold on a second and I'll go grab the bottom. We'll grab a saw and get started. That's the bottom. Whew, that's a lot of work. These things are pretty heavy. You're going to be happy when they get cut down. We'll grab the saw, put some spaces on the table so I can cut straight through without this thing falling apart or pitching the blade. Alright. Got a saw, safety glasses. How to get those? I think we're going to cut the bottom first. Oh, we'll mark things out. Alright. Safety glasses. Safety glasses. Alright, move this to now. something. Something else. I'll bring you guys in here for a sec. Alright. So our goal here is to match this side, the already pre-finished side, with this side, cut and angled just the same. Now, the good news is there's enough dust on here and separation that we'll be able to match that before we cut it. So we really got to measure from like here to the edge, figure out how much that is, and then come over here and do the same and cut it straight through, and do the same over here, cut it straight through. This section will be cut up for some decorative legs to raise the thing up a little bit, and yeah, we'll mark it and get to cutting. So that's the plan. Alright, we're going to want to know how far over to cut. So from the outside edge of this side, we got I would say 15/16. Alright, so we'll do 1 inch, give ourselves just a little bit of room to make a mistake, because we make mistakes. Mark this on 1, and then from that edge, 1. Alright. I believe this is 1 inch thick. So, no, it's not. Yeah, it might be. We'll just kind of line that up with the edge. Draw a line. That looks about right. Same thing from the other edge. Connect the two together. And that's our rough cut. So as long as we're on this side of that cut, we're fine. I'll do the same over here. Check and see if we got anything in the way. Probably want to pull any and all obstructions out of this so the saw doesn't hit something. That's tough. I'll grab my pliers for that. Keep all these together. Take our boards underneath to make sure we're not cutting in anything. Alright, so there's a slight difference between those two. We'll slide this over. That's better. Alright, is that cutting into that piece? The edge piece? No. Actually not. Just gonna miss it. See, there's this board here and here, and our lines run right along the edge of that board. So we're not gonna cut into this spot right here. Okay. Set our blade height so we're not cutting through the table. Maybe just a hair lower to get through the edges. Go. Double check the table height. Yeah, we're good. Alright. Safety glasses engaged. Can't see nothing. Alright. Do a test cut. Oh, yeah. Yeah, gotta plug it in. Oh, yeah. Perfect. Cut just on that side of the zero. Test cut, see where a blade is. Pretty much right on the line. So we'll scoot over. Alright. Yeah, see, we missed that piece just barely. That's good. I'll add some reinforcements. So that's one half of it. Time for the other one. Good enough. We'll square this up on the table saw. Bottom's pretty much the same way. Or the top. Pretty much the same way. Right. So we got our own little standoff. Since all these things are on the bottom of it. Really don't have to worry about the boards being under it. We'll put them there anyway. Now, we don't have marks on this one where the boards were. That's going to be a challenge. Tell you what, we'll just trace the pieces out we already got. That's close enough. There's that one. And I'll do this end. Goal is to get this done before the sun goes down. I really don't think we're going to make it. Alright. Get the marks. Check, make sure we don't have anything under it that's going to get in our way. We're good. Saws, man. Gotta cut that firewood. It's getting cold out. We're gonna take this. We're gonna take this out there. We're gonna match those angles, and we're gonna call it a day because it's getting dark out. We gotta hurry. Now all we got to do is match that angle, and that's going to be it for today. Get it set up once, and then be done. Have to get all the hardware off to get the angle right. We can see on our first initial test pass that this board is unchanged and this board is angled. And on our cut, we're just slightly shallow. So We still have a little bit left to cut to match it. It's about a 16th, a little bit more than a 16th. So we'll go over just about a 16th, and then we'll try that cut again. All right. I would say we got it. So this is the new cut. And then this is the original factory cut. And I would say we got it. Since all these are the same length, I'll do a couple more passes. Close up shop for the day. And I'll see you guys tomorrow. Hey. Well, as you can see, we got the angles cut the other day on the tops and bottoms. We also got the remaining cuts in the middle broken up into pieces that we're going to use for raising this thing up in the air a little bit. So we cut everything about as evenly as we could, squared as we could, all the same. And then what we're going to do, we're going to take two of these pieces. We're going to do the pocket hole screws. We're going to attach them together like so. And then we are going to take that with some pocket hole screws and go up into the bottom to raise this up. So the exposed edge, and yeah, so maybe just the exposed edge, and I guess it would be that exposed and that exposed edge. All those edges need painted. So what we got for paint this. It's called leather brown. It should be pretty close to this color. I mean, it's kind of. All right, so that's for the top and the bottoms to kind of let it blend in. So we'll get those painted here in a minute. We still got to drill all those pocket hole screws. The top was decided. There's a lot of things you can do with the tabletop. A lot you can do with the tabletop these days. So we kind of tossed it around a little bit, and we decided this is going to be the primary color of the top itself. Okay. Then we are going to cut this thing into strips. It's a adhesive back drawer liner. Got it on sale. And we're going to cut it into strips. We're going to kind of put a border around the outer edge. I don't know if we're going to do inch or inch and a quarter strips of this yet. I guess we'll cut them and find out. And so, yeah. So other than glue and some screws, this project is going to get moving forward pretty quick. So today, the goal is to get everything sanded, prepped, painted, glued, and then we'll have to check back in with you in a couple days. We've got some things going on this weekend. We got this Halloween show coming up that we have to be at down in Columbus. We also have to work this weekend too. So we're going to be pretty busy this weekend. The soonest I think I can get back out here to film the rest of this video is probably on Monday. And hopefully all the paint cures and everything's dry by Monday, and we can just get this thing put back together and put back in the house. That's the plan. So follow along while I do some sanding and painting. And we don't have a whole lot to say for this, so we're going to do kind of high speed for a minute and just kind of have you watch me do the work. it's going to be easier to get it done quickly. And I'll slow it down for some parts, like the, showing what things look like when they get done. Maybe we'll do some zoom ins for the painting, and maybe we might get quite a bit done today. But just kind of hang out for a minute, watch me work. We'll try not to get you in the way, and we'll try not to get any paint on you. All right. So let's get started. Pocket hole screws first, because they're the messiest. Unfortunately, the pieces that have these edges, I can't go in at the angle I need to put the pocket hole screws going this way to attach them together. So what I've done is just drilled out where they go into the bottom, and I marked them where they go together, so I know which end's up and which end's going to be exposed. So when I give them a shot of paint, I'm going to kind of paint the edges to get rid of this frayed look. And then I hit the exposed edge, and then that should be the only thing I got to paint. So with this one, that's the plan. See that? So I'll draw an arrow on it saying that that's the exposed edge. So I need to paint this edge and kind of smooth these out. I mean, it saves me a little bit of time with doing all the pocket screws. These things are together good. They're holding up. I decided to go with one screw instead of two, because really I just needed to clamp it. It's a good thing to think about on your projects too. You know, I'm actually going to explain it this time. So these function as risers, and the only force that's going to be put on these is going to be down force. And these are already structurally fine for down force. But I want them to be, you know, on all four corners like legs on the table. So the force that moves them this way and this way, there isn't going to be any. And the force that moves them this way and this way, there's not going to be any. The only force that's going to be on these is straight down with weight. So these are fine. Just as long as they're together enough where I can paint an edge. I guess is that they don't have to be like strong. They just have to hold the weight of the table on top. So it's good to think about that on any project. Like, what are you trying to do? Use the material that you're using to okay, so in other words, rely on the material. Don't rely on your fasteners. Rely on your material. Don't rely on your welds. Think it through. Where's all the forces going to go? Where are they coming from? And all that. So I'm going to get this cleaned up real quick, and then we're going to shoot these with some paint and a little bit of sandpaper. And we're going to get these painted and then off the table, and then get the other set of legs done so that they're all done, painted, out of the way, and then we can start on the bigger pieces and get that done today. So yeah. Time to speed it back up. See you in a minute. Alright, so this is what they look like all painted. They're not perfect, but they are going to be tucked under just a little bit. And they're better than they were. I got the other one sitting over there drying. Alright, so now it is time to do the bottoms. Since the bottoms are also going to have the edges painted brown. So I'm just going to sand those lightly. Just try to paint this way so that I don't get too much overspray over here. Not that it matters, it'll all be covered up anyway, but this is just for an edge that may or may not be outside. So I'm going to shoot for the least amount of overspray, I think. Just hit them with a tiny bit of sandpaper and paint them. Yeah, I know, it doesn't look like the greatest. But it's better than having a live wood edge. I'm sure that'll darken up a little bit when it dries. Just like this. Which is the closest thing to the wood that I could get. Well, that essentially is the bottoms. And they're done. Now I just got to focus on the tops. Now, the tops are getting that blue color. Right there. Plus some trimmings. So it doesn't matter what the finish looks like. It's all going to be blue. Alright, I'm going to take a small break. Get some fresh air. Let the stuff dry for a minute. And then we're going to be prepping them tops. Yeah, not too bad so far. Alright, progress. We got the tops DA'd, cleaned off really good. And I DA sanded the edges so the paint would have something to stick to. And then I gave it its first blue coat underneath. And struggled quite a bit on getting paint to stick to this side. But a couple more coats might work. So I learned also to stand this off the tablecloth a little bit, or it's going to stick and I can't move it. So I'm going to hit the edges of this one and then get it flipped over, and then I'm going to hit the top of both of them all at once, and then I'll definitely show that. So check back with you in just a sec. Alright, pretty much got the sides done, got the tops kind of dusted on the edges, and now it's just time to paint we got some distortion over here, like there may be dirt or something in there. We'll take it. You know, this is a repurposed job anyway. So we're going to give these a nice quick even coat, kind of light at first, and we'll come back in a little bit, we'll give it another coat, a little heavier this time. Hopefully we don't get runs. And then we're going to start working on this border and getting it on there where the paint's still kind of wet. That's probably a big mistake. You know, learn by doing. So, I'm going to get these shot real quick and have you watch me do that and speed it up a little bit. And then I'll turn you back on when we get to the border. So here we go. Going blue! Kind of see how it doesn't cover 1000% of it. We're just kind of laying a base right now. See? Just a base. We're going to give that about 10 minutes. And then we're going to come back in the other direction, going this way, and lay another base. And then that should fill in most of the little cracks and crevices. All right, so I'll check back with you in just a minute. Take a small break. Alright, so it's been a couple minutes. I'm not good at waiting. I want to get this done. So, I got a little bit of fuzz there. A little bit of fuzz everywhere. Like, that's just going to become part of the paint. Alright, now we're going to go the other way. See that? Pretty much all covered first coat. We definitely got something there that the paint's not sticking to. I don't know what it is. Could be oil, could be grease, could be other paint. I don't know. But, I mean, it's gonna be okay. These are getting repurposed anyway. So, there are new end stands. So, I'm gonna shoot a couple more coats of paint tonight and work on getting that border in, and I'll take you guys inside the house when they're all put together, so you guys can kind of get a look and see what it looks like all together. For the border, so going to cut some thin strips, run it along the edges, and probably going to hit it with a clear coat to make sure that it stays put and doesn't peel up. So I'll see you guys in a couple of days when this stuff cures on the inside. Hi everybody. We're done with the project. As you can see, it turned out pretty nice. A little arts and craftsy, but you know, it kind of fits our personality. So we got the feet put on the way we want them, and the height of them is just perfect, as you can see. And we got them cleaned up, and I know the glass is a little foggy, but other than that, they're repurposed to being end stands instead of a big TV stand. It was just kind of sitting in the corner being a catch-all for everything. Now they're kind of going to be useful as end stands. which we were going to buy, but we're like, well, hey, you know, we got this thing. I bet we can make end stands out of it. So we did. And thank you for following along as we did so. Don't forget to like, subscribe, share, whatever you want to do, whatever you feel like doing. We'll catch you on the next one, and you all have a wonderful, wonderful rest of your day. Thank you for watching.